Hey, what's up everybody? In this video, we're going to take a look at Pastel, Daisy, and Donald at skill level 4, 5, and 6. Now, the major difference and really the only difference between the three of these skill levels are their effect size. So at skill level 4, the effects is going to be large. At skill level 5, it's going to be extra large. And at skill level 6, it's going to be extra large. To really see this, I'm really going to have to show you guys the animation of all three of these skill level. But before I get to that, if you guys are looking for a more in-depth review of Pastel, Daisy, and Donald, check out the description below or in the top right hand corner. I do have another video that goes over how to use Pastel, Donald, and Daisy at the lower skill level, and really just actually any skill level. Regardless of what skill level you have them at, it's really the same strategy. So check that video out if you haven't yet. It's really going to give you a better idea on how to maximize your ability and earn you the most coins as well as the highest score. But obviously if you have them at a higher level, and I'm not talking about the skill level, just a regular level, then really you're going to get more scores because every time you level them up, it's going to be more scores every single time you clear one of them. But regardless, here is the three gameplays for skill level 4, 5, and 6. And my overall review of Pastel, Donald, and Daisy is that they're not necessarily the best pair of zooms out there. And in terms of if I would spend skill tickets on them, is probably not. First of all, they're really hard to get. The drop rates are extremely low. And out of all the pair of zooms, I think if you have skill tickets saved up, there are better zooms that you can invest in. So definitely save up your skill tickets. I don't think that these pair is really worth it. If you need a zoom that gets you a really high score, maybe if you have a score challenge and you want to get a high score and you don't mind spending the time to level these guys up to level 50, then maybe they're good. But other than that, they're not necessarily that great for missions. They might be good for bubble making, but again, there are other zooms out there that are better bubble makers. If you are trying to use Pastel, Daisy, and Donald, or Pastel, Donald, and Daisy, excuse me, for bubble making, then yeah, that's possible, but there are better zooms out there. They do make really good bubbles that gets you those item bubbles, but not necessarily the best. Really, if you are using Pastel, Daisy, and Donald, you are really after their high score. I'm still working on these pairs, so I haven't gotten them to level 50 yet, so it's still a work in progress. I will let you guys know how that goes once I get them to level 50. But for right now, I have them at the lower levels, like level 5 and level 6. They're really not super amazing in terms of scoring as of yet, but I do suspect that as they progress, it should significantly increase because they do have a pretty high base score at the higher levels. So we'll have to see, because I think once you hit level 50, the base score does become 2,166. So it's pretty high up there. But regardless, their skill remains the same. And just to talk a little bit about strategy, just in case you haven't seen the first video yet, you should always alternate the ability. So first you want to use Donald, and then after you use Donald's ability, you want to go back and wait for the pair ability. So use Daisy's ability and then activate Donald's to activate the high score combo. So check that video out in the description below or in the top right hand corner if you want to learn a little bit more about how to use these pair of zooms. But what I also want to get into is show you guys all three of these abilities active at the same time. So let's take a look at that. Alright, so first we have Donald's ability, which is the Mickey Mouse hands. And if you take a look at it here, it's the same as all three of the skill level. So let me slow this down and really walk you through it. So the Mickey hand comes out, and you can see here that the chain is kind of all over the place. Skill level 4, you got 25. Skill level 5 is 26, and skill level 6 is 24. So regardless of what skill level you have your pair zooms at, it doesn't matter because this is going to remain constant at all the skill levels. And same thing for the second part of the ability is that this magic bubble gets made. It's still the same, you only get 4 magic bubbles, so that doesn't change. And keep in mind that these magic bubbles are going to be item bubbles, so that's the benefit of it. Like I mentioned earlier, if you are looking for a item making zoom, then maybe this is a good one because they do make bubbles that have items in them. Alright, so moving on to the second ability. So here we have Daisy. So before we get into the second portion of it, I do want to slow this down kind of in two parts. So as you activate Daisy's ability, you'll see me spamming Donald's ability just because I want to get that going as soon as possible. But very similar to what I mentioned earlier. When you activate the ability for Daisy, this doesn't change either for skill level 4, 5, and 6. So this doesn't really matter. So it really comes down to luck on which ability or which zooms gets changed. But what does change is this second part. So I'm going to resume here really quickly and take a look at this part here. Is when you use Daisy and Donald's ability together, that's when you see the biggest change. You'll see that the thickness of the clear radius or the clear range is a little bit bigger. So that's really the only difference when you are using Pastel Donald and Daisy between all 6 of the skill levels. And at skill level 4, I was able to get a chain of 30. Skill level 5, I got a chain of 34. And skill level 6, I got a chain of 36. So really that's the major difference here between skill level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's this last part when you combine all of their abilities together. So nothing really changes, and that's really why I don't recommend using your skill tickets on Pastel Donald and Daisy, just because there is only very minute changes as you level up Pastel Donald and Daisy. And if you take a look at the score here at the very end, the score, it's pretty good for a skill level 3 Tsum, and the coin earnings, it's okay. For skill level 4, I got 3,365 coins. Skill level 5, I got 3,759. And at skill level 6, I got 4,077 coins. So nothing amazing. I think it's average, borderline poor actually, to be honest, for skill level 6. Skill level 4 is mediocre, not amazing, not poor, but not one I would invest in. But the score looks pretty good, especially for a pretty low level Tsum. I think it's pretty good. Like I mentioned, once I get them to level 50, I will share with you guys a little bit more about how well they do. But that's pretty much it for this one. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and found this video helpful. And if you guys would like to see more Tsum Tsum content just like this, where I review Tsums and also talk about the leaks for next month, definitely don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.